Hello again. We are Chris Lee, Blake Lovell, and Max Barr, Southeastern 14 here to preview Tennessee's road trip to Bud Walton Arena in Fayetteville, Arkansas. You can catch that game Wednesday night on ESPN2. Tennessee is about an 11-point road favorite with an 85% chance to win, according to Ken Pomeroy. I'll let Max give us Bart Torvik's call here in just a minute. Before we get there, a reminder. BetOnline continues to be your number one source for all your basketball wagering needs, including pro and college hoops throughout the year. With up-to-the-minute odds, stats, and trends, you can follow your favorite team's path to the playoffs with in-game live betting, contests, and all the best player props. Experience the world's best wagering platform anytime from your desktop or mobile devices. Head to BetOnline today. Become part of the team. Remember to use our promo code BELIEVE. That is BLEAV for 50% or for your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. BetOnline. The game starts here. Okay, these two teams have had seasons headed in opposite directions. Tennessee is fighting for a potential SEC championship and a spot on the 1 or 2 line right now. I think it would be 2 today if the field of 68 were picked. Arkansas just trying not to be in that first group of games in Blake and I's hometown of Nashville for the SEC tournament. But, some things took a little different direction last week. Tennessee went to Texas A&M, called A&M's best game of the year, got spanked in College Station. Arkansas nearly blew a late lead to Georgia, held on for the win there, which Eric Musselman and the Razorbacks desperately needed. Max, give me Bart Torvik's pick on this one. It's usually pretty close to Ken Pomeroy's.
Yeah, Torvik's got it by 10 on the dot, 10.0. I've got it at 10.5. I think that's pretty well on because if Tennessee had won at Texas A&M, you could say that they might be in here for, a little bit of a letdown catching Arkansas on the road, but with them getting embarrassed by Texas A&M, you got to think that they're going to be playing with their hair on fire here and come out strong. So probably around 10, right around a double-digit spread is what I got.
Yeah, and look, we've talked about the difficulty of winning on the road. I'll get to some home road stuff at the end of things, but I'm just looking here stylistically between the two teams, looking at the Ken Pom page. I can't find a lot that really jumps out to me in terms of Arkansas winning this game, except there is one thing. We know the Razorbacks get to the foul line a lot. Tennessee is a physical team. It will foul some. We know about road whistles in the SEC. I think that is one area, Max, where if there's going to be an upset, that would seem to be the most likely recipe for it to happen.
Yeah, the way that I see that path to victory playing out is when you look at this Arkansas offense, they are outside of the top 300 in 3-point attempt rate and assist rate. So they don't shoot a lot of threes. They don't move the ball much. It's a lot of isolation one-on-one. And I'm trying to, picture that in my head. I'm seeing maybe, a lot of late clock shot situations where L. Ellis can get downhill, where you can dump it down to Mekhi Mitchell, draw some fouls and muck up the game. That's kind of the thing. If Arkansas wants a chance at getting this thing underneath that 10-digit spread, having this game being played within single digits, they're going to have to make it ugly. And that's what we've seen with Tennessee. That's the common theme now. They don't like these ugly, slow, physical games. They want to play these fast tempo games. Rick Barnes keeps saying, we like to play fast. We're a fast team. They don't want to play these gross, ugly games. So if Arkansas can muck it up, get to the free throw line a lot, slow this game down, they can have a chance to eat into the lead here. If Tennessee was to get out to one, that's what the spread is indicating.
Yeah, just so everyone knows, I don't sound great. But I tell you what else would not be great for Tennessee, and it's exactly what Max just said. If this game becomes a free throw shooting contest,
they do not like that.
And Arkansas is shooting 30-plus free throws here. I think that's going to be not ideal for the Vols. Really elsewhere, like you can look at this and I mean, Arkansas has not played. If you just take the Auburn game out, which was the first game of SEC play, they've not played that bad at home. They beat A&M. They just beat Georgia. Close loss to Kentucky. The South Carolina game, I think, was a little bit closer than the 13-point final score. And so, like, they've had opportunities, I guess. Although the South Carolina, now that I look back at it, South Carolina was up 19 in the second half in that one. But still, like, I think it's one of those things where you look at this and it is hard to find a path for Arkansas here, except for just the fact that they played well at home at times, because this is still, to me, the unpredictable team that, they went and played well at Missouri, right? And they came back and lost by 21 on the road at LSU. They got the week off. Maybe that week off did something for them, because they're able to pull out a win against Georgia, who we know just cannot finish games right now. And so maybe that's what they needed, Now they can kind of take this into the Tennessee game. You got a Tennessee team that feels like it's, reeling a little bit coming off the performance it played at A&M. And there are some similarities, I think, in the way that Arkansas and A&M play. And, of course, that starts at the free throw line. So, yeah, I'm at least curious, but it's just, it's still hard to look at this game and not feel like Tennessee has the advantage in quite a few areas.
All right. Well, you've spent a lot of our time on Arkansas, and if you're watching this, you're going, why aren't you talking about Tennessee? Well, look, everybody expects Tennessee to win this game. The computers expect Tennessee to win this game. When the odds are out, they're going to expect Tennessee to win this game. Tennessee has the better team for a lot of reasons we could name. I think the value in a preview like this is telling you how this could be interesting, or if it doesn't go the way you think it is, why not? And I'm going to give you one thing, okay? Devontae Davis was a big part of what Arkansas did last year in its postseason run, and just sat out 3 straight games heading into the Georgia game. And before that, played 8 minutes against Ole Miss in a blowout loss and really wasn't much of a factor. Devo Davis came back for the Georgia game, and this is kind of interesting. Played 35 minutes and scored 4 points, took no 2-pointers, 1 3-pointer, 2 free throws, of which he hit 1. 3 rebounds, 3 assists, but just 1 turnover, 2 steals, and 2 fouls. For that, he got an offensive rating, according to Ken Pomeroy, of 149, which is his highest in conference play. You need your point guard to set other guys up and do things. It's one game, but I do wonder if Arkansas potentially found something in bringing Devo Davis back, maybe recasting his role a little bit, letting him distribute, take a back seat in terms of shooting, and let other guys score the points. So, look, it's Georgia. Georgia's a good team, not a great team. Georgia struggled to close games. Maybe it's just a one-game thing, but if you're looking for a path to something interesting and different and why, that is where I would jump off.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Just real quick, injury update for Arkansas, because, man, that's been a long storyline of their season here. Trayvon Brazile not going to play. Musselman was asked this past weekend. We're recording this on Tuesday. He was just asked a few days ago, is Trayvon Brazile any closer to returning? How is his progress going? He just said no. That was it. He just said, nope, not any closer. So I don't have a timeline. I don't know the status. All I know is he's not playing. So you'll probably see that rotating big man combo of Jalen Graham, Chandler Lawson, Guy Mitchell, maybe some Tremont Mark at the 4. But like always, it's going to be tough to know who gets minutes with this Arkansas team. I mean, just last game, they started Chandler Lawson, Layden Blocker, and Jeremiah Davenport. They all got taken out after their first set of minutes and didn't get put back in the whole game. So it's tough to break down the individual matchups of this game when I don't really know who is going to be out there.
Yeah, I mean, I try to think of how did A&M beat Tennessee? They just had one of their best shooting nights the entire year. They got to the free throw line. They got the extra opportunities on the offensive boards, but like if you're just trying to find that same path for Arkansas, I mean, how many of those things does Arkansas do great, right? And so they're not a great offensive rebounding team, not a great rebounding team. We've talked about that before. They don't shoot it well from three, and they don't really get many of their points from three. Like we said, they got to get the free throw line. So, yeah, I mean, I guess that's it, right? With the injuries and trying to find all the paths for Arkansas, I think it's pretty simple. You got to make shots, and you got to play one of your best games of the season. Because even though Tennessee's offense was not great against Texas A&M, A&M's still been a much better defensive team than Arkansas throughout the season. So, so I don't know. I mean, this is pretty simple. Arkansas's just they got to grind it, as Max said, and make this game a very physical game that's won at the free throw line, probably more than anything else. So,
Picks.
Right. Predictions. Oh, okay. You guys brought up some good things there. I mean, could this be a sign of things headed in a different direction for both? Okay, I could play that game. Tennessee didn't look great at College Station. Arkansas's got more talent than we thought. Could that be a sign of things to come? Sure. I wouldn't put a lot of stock in that, though. I think Tennessee just ran into a hot team that played its best game of the year, while Tennessee played one of its worst games of the year for sure. Tennessee's got a history of winning on the road this year. It has won at Wisconsin back when Wisconsin was playing really well. It has won in Rupp Arena this year. And I know a few teams have done that, but Arkansas has also lost 4 games. And I get that some of them have been to good teams, lost to Kentucky, lost to South Carolina, lost to Auburn. That's maybe the 2 of the top 3 teams in the league besides Tennessee. Also lost to UNC Greensboro early in the year. This team has just not been invincible at home. It's not nearly as good as we thought. I continue to think Tennessee is the top team in the league. I trust the Vols to win on the road, and that's going to be my pick. Max?
Yeah, Arkansas's offensive rebounding in SEC play, they're rebounding at a rate of 23%. Texas A&M 43%. So
yeah.
Big contrast in styles there. So like Blake, you said, I don't think Arkansas will be able to replicate the stuff that Texas A&M, Mississippi State does to Tennessee to knock them off. I'm going to go Tennessee here, and I really think that them losing that last game embarrassingly just is not you're not catching them at a good spot. They're going to be playing pretty pissed off. Give me the balls here.
Well, what you guys failed to realize is that Tennessee has not won in Fayetteville since 2009. They have really struggled there. 2022, they lost 58-48. 2020, they lost to 86-69. 2017, 95-93. Good luck this game getting to 95-93. I don't see it. 2016, they lost 85-67. 2015, they lost 69-64. 2013, they lost 73-60. 2011, they lost 68-65.
Man.
So,
Goodness.
the reason I brought up the point earlier about how I don't think Arkansas has just been atrocious at home outside of the Auburn performance. And yes, you can go back to the Wilmington game and say, certainly they shouldn't have lost that. But they've at least they've had opportunities, other than South Carolina making that big run to kind of push the lead out in that one several weeks ago. So, for that reason, should I just go ahead and say the 3 words? Woo, pig. Sorry, Arkansas fans. I'm not picking you. Give me the Vols on the road against the Hogs here. I can't pick Arkansas given the inconsistency. So, give me the Vols and a bounce-back performance on the road.
The 3 words you meant to say were kiss of death, because that's what we've just done. We've given Tennessee the Southeastern 14 kiss of death, and it's all on you.
Chris, how many times have we done this with Arkansas?
Every day.
And how many times?
I don't know. It's been a long year.
Let's be honest, okay? Like, we have been there a lot with Arkansas this year, and we have tried. Because remember, the Arkansas fans, they are the originals on Southeastern 14.
Yes.
They have been with us the longest. Tennessee fans are probably second, I would say. We have tried to pull Arkansas along this season. We've tried to find every justification, whether it's all of us picking against them and everything's going to be okay. But if you really think about it, I feel like the Southeastern 14 kiss of death began with Arkansas when we all picked them to beat Auburn.
Yep.
And since then,
did we
it's
all
just
do
been
that? Man, that seems
Yes.
forever ago.
well, we did.
Oh, yeah.
And so,
Holy
yeah.
cow.
So, in a sense, that Arkansas is like the common denominator here. And I don't know if it works that way this time around, but it may, because it is life on the road in the SEC. And I did want to just quickly bring up that, if you're looking at the percentages, SEC home teams have won 63% of the conference games so far, 46 to 73. So, play the percentages. I think this will be closer than we would think. But you know what? I just don't know how you could confidently pick Arkansas here based on, if there are Arkansas fans who think they're going to win, let us know in the comments what you think is going to happen. And I mean that seriously. Because I know a lot of you are still, even after the Georgia win, right? You're still you're checked out. But if you guys think Arkansas is going to win, let us know why in the comments. Give us your reasoning, give us your thoughts. And it can't just be, Tennessee's terrible. It's got to be, give us your path. How are they going to win this game? Because I really am curious.
Yeah.
So I think it's going to be tough because Tennessee's in a bounce back spot, like Max said, and I think they'll come out with something to prove here, even if it's in a place where they have just not had a lot of success.
Boy, is there a lesson there or what in really not knowing what teams are to a conference? That was 5 weeks ago. I'd totally forgotten we did that. I mean, I'm sure Blake's right, but isn't that amazing? 5 weeks ago, how different did the seasons look for some of these teams? And South Carolina for sure would be an example, but
Arkansas was coming off a 3-game winning streak. They've won 5 of 6. They'd beaten Duke in that stretch. They played really well against Wilmington. Sorry, it was Greensboro. So they lost at home to Wilmington. Why do we keep getting those guys mixed up? They lost at home to Greensboro early in the year, not Wilmington. They beat Wilmington by 16. They scored 106 points. And then they came out and got beat by 32 the game after that at home.
That was also the 32-point Menafield debut game against Wilmington. So we thought that the point guard problem was completely fixed and that the offense was back and all this and that.
Think about how many rotations they've used since that game.
Man.
Oh my goodness, there's no telling. So we'll see if they find the right one here against the Vols.
We'll have you covered when it's over, probably the next morning. Best way to get that, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. That helps our analytics. For Blake Lovell, Max Barr, I'm Chris Lee. We're Southeastern 14, presented by Bet Online.